Ooh, that did a short intro. Greater light, greater light, greater light. All right, let's start off with my title. Let's start off with the title. The reason why I'm on this little misinformation spill going from Rome, from Rome to modern day artificial intelligence. Oh, Rome to modern day government. Oh, no, Rome to Federal Register, to kind of argue with Sander Vender Linden, who says that we as humans are the cause for the misinformation or disinformation. We beings at the bottom, the ones who get vaccinated. We don't need an antigen. We need the government to stop with their misinformation. We need people like you, Sandra Vender Linden, to stop experimenting and telling people that they're the cause. For example, I'm just going to use today. I picked something out of the news, and to show how Federal Register, which I've been saying almost 2 years ago, anything that you want to know is going to happen in your community, at an area that you live, whether it's protected, or whether it's going to have issues, you go to the Federal Register, type in the name of your area, and it'll let you know. The government lets you know what they're going to do. They're supposed to be transparent. Now they're making it where they have to be transparent, more verbally, in a more transparent type of way versus putting it in the Federal Register, because they know people don't read. That's why they do it like that. It's like not just black people, blacks, not just the blacks. Because we know it's not about race and color, huh? We know that. I know. You don't have to know it. I know. But people are not they don't want to read the truth. Or they don't want to rightly divide the word of truth. Some people will read, but then they don't want to rightly divide it. They want to take it just for face value. Like a coin from Julius Caesar, or something. Or like the coin. They look at the penny and they don't know really what the value of the penny is. The penny is worth half a cent nowadays. It's not worth a whole cent. What's half a cent of 1 cent? Or you have 5 cents that's not worth 5 cents. It's not. So just at face value, just holding the coin and saying, hey, I got a penny. But at the penny looking back saying, no, I'm not even worth a penny. It's best to be worth the mites. A widow would take her 2 mites, all she got left, and say, God, I give it to you. You know what those 2 mites stand for? The mighty power of God, huh? And the mighty power of King Jesus. Yes, sir, that's 2 mites worth more than man's value on diamonds, which ain't nothing but coal, mine, debris, waste of the land, huh? Gold pus, waste of the land, rubies and stuff, the dead bones of people. I mean, you feel like you get you some good resin out of trees, and people be like, yeah, but it came naturally from the trees. The trees suck out the blood from out of the land. What you mean? If somebody bones and dirt and all that gets buried in around a tree, and that tree resin years from now looks beautiful, most of what that tree sucked in is whatever came through the land and the soil. I'm just saying. I don't mean to be all excited right now on this. See my title. See my title again. The title says Federal Scrolls. You alone are worthy to open up the scrolls. All one. Y'all are worthy to open up the scrolls that man put out there to know what's going on around you. And here I am going to use this example. Oh, Neo. This is where Neo came in on the Matrix. Oh, Neo, NATO. Neo, Nata. Neo, Oniata. Not Onianta. Oh, Neon, Neo. All right. So in the news. Now, I don't know if this is fake news or real news. All I know is in Oinata, something got blew up, right? Let me see. Bing, tell it to me. Where's that in the news? Where's that? Hold up, hold up, hold up. Hold up. All right. Oneonta house explosion sets off fire, killing one resident, destroying multiple homes. Now, I can look at this picture. I'm not there. I don't know if this happened for real. For real. And it's in USA Today. You would want to think that USA Today is a reputable source, right? Maybe, maybe not. Look, my teacher is online. Oh, yes, he is. Yeah, but I can't stop and listen to him just yet. I'm gonna hit that link later, maybe. Maybe not. Maybe not. I'm trying to get to a source on Neo. NATO. Neo Neonato. Okay, there you go. I got it. Neo, put it. Yeah, let me see. Give me a second, y'all. Give me a second. Let's see. Said the blind man. Let's see. All right. Okay, now I'm going to read this newscast. This is what it say. USA Today. Oneonta, Neo Anta house explosion sets off fire, killing one resident, destroying multiple homes. Authorities on Sunday, this happened yesterday, when there was tornadoes trying to rip apart houses where I'm at. I already knew, like I told my granddaughter, I say, look, just in case, since you feeling this type of way, there's that little space in there. Grandma gonna be standing right outside. You don't have to be afraid. They're not coming for us. They're not gonna tear up nothing here. How do I know that? Because of all the money that they invested in this city. Millions upon millions, especially to preserve the plantations. If they put their investments in, they ain't for to let nothing happen and tear it up. Huh? That'll be a waste of money. Right or wrong? I'm just saying, according I learned that through Federal Register. Okay, now neonato. Neonato in New York. This is New York. It sounds like a foreign country. Oneonta. That sound foreign, but it ain't foreign. Just like when the hurricane happened and it said the hurricane was going to hit over here. This was supposed to be the first place on the artificial intelligence list. Huh? And I said, wait a minute. Federal Register said they put just in one museum alone $4 million. If they put $4 million, they ain't putting it in the homeless community, but they put $4 million in one museum right here in the heart of Antebellum. The tree is going to be preserved. There ain't going to be no tornado tear up big old coat out there. Ain't no tornadoes and hurricanes going to tear up big the first of the state of Georgia. All the first restaurant, first bank, first church. I'm just saying. Look. So the Oneonta house around 5:30, a fire department response to calls found active fire in multiple homes severely damaged. A state of emergency was put into effect, and the residents advised to avoid the area. They put a whole state of emergency on the whole state of New York, or just for Neonato. After the flames were extinguished, authorities found a resident of one home. One of the homes was dead. You mean all that explosion and fire? Only one, right? Another resident in the neighborhood sustained minor injuries during the explosion and received medical attention. Seemed like everybody was out in the clear, and one person forgot the memo. One person woke up late and said, "Oh, I got me some good rest. Oh man, I'm supposed to be out here." Nope, they forgot. So as of Sunday, officials have not said what might have caused the explosion. We don't know if it was a pipeline. They don't know. They ain't figured it out just yet, right? The investigation is still going on, but New York State Office of Fire Prevention and Control will lead the agency during this investigation. They gonna have to, because it was declared just for a whole house fire, a house explosion, that the whole state was on a state of emergency, Okay, let me tell you something. I'm gonna show you how you can look at this and come up with all type of scenarios, and whatever New York State Office of Fire and Prevention Control is going to tell you, it still could be misleading or disinformation according to Federal Register, because the government tells you what they're going to do to your city, to your area, to your community in advance. If it's going to be flooded out, believe me, somewhere in the Federal Register, it's already written. Okay, you don't have to believe me. There's no threat to the public at this time, the sheriff department said. Just like those boulders that's going out there to rip up the homeless community, they ain't just make that decision overnight. They don't sit after council meeting, and some of the heads of churches and states and all that already knew it was going to happen. I'm just saying. That's the way the government works. They don't just wake up one morning and say, just like this girl like to say on Latrell Tinwell's commercial, person doesn't just wake up one day and say, I want to kill something. It's planned out. They want to know how many death certificates they're going to be able to receive for the state and everything. And then if it don't have nothing to do with people, just somebody just happened to get mixed up in the crossfire, they want to know how much of the land is going to be worth. How much minerals they going to get from that land once an explosion happen. What's the air quality control going to be like? Trickle down economics. Like Biden, that was his favorite word for last year. Trickle down economics. There is no threat to the public at this time, the sheriff department says. Photos of fire posted by the sheriff's department show intense flames, extensive debris. They got the fire, the sheriff to take the pictures. They ain't even let the newscasters get it in first. They said the sheriff has become the new photo ops. Operation Photo Sheriff. Sheriffs. They be riding all around town taking photos now. Look. It looked like an old Christmas fire. The blast comes just days after another home explosion in Arlington, Virginia. Mountain Valley Pipeline. But let's see what they said about that. That happened because a man fired a flare-type gun inside a duplex. A Bluemont neighborhood. There go the Blues. Arlington. More than 30 times as police tried to enter with a search warrant. So he was he was like, you can't take me. He ain't even had a real gun. He was doing a flare gun to block them from coming to break down his door. They say the suspect identified as James Yo was killed in the explosion. So they going from telling a story about what happened in New York to Arlington, and Arlington seems really funny. And then that's how the story ends. See, ain't no telling with USA Today. Ain't no telling, but I'm going to go ahead and tell you a little bit of history about neonator. Neonator. Oh me, oh my, neonator. So I decided to go to the Federal Register and see what it is that they could be planning, that they would have a house explode, one resident and a few people, but everybody was okay. What are their plans? What are their plans? All right, here we go. In July 2023, there's a museum there that the Department of Interior is investing in. The museum is called the Yeager Museum of Art and Culture, Hardwick College. Here's another thing about this area. This area is indigenous Native American land. So more than likely, remember, they're giving reparations, repatriations to all of the Native Americans that they consider Native Americans to United States. They're giving reparations or repatriations to their dead, to their grave, to the grave sites. You can find that in Federal Register. It ain't nothing I'm making up. So not only is this name Oneonta or Neon or Neo-Anta or Neonator, I'm going to tell you the proper pronunciation according to artificial intelligence in a minute. Everything that they did according to this right here is explanatory, self-explanatory in the Federal Register. Notice of inventory completion. So they finished the inventory before they did any of this mess in July 2023. Yeager Museum of Art and Culture, Hardwick College in Oneonta, New York. They got the telephone number here and all. You could call and confirm. You don't have to believe me that the Interior Department did an inventory before they start blowing up stuff around the area. You don't have to believe me. You could go check it out. You could call 607-431-4481, and ask them, did y'all complete inventory in July in Oneonta? Wherever the museum's getting all the money, when they get all the money and all the funding, you don't have to worry about that area getting all messed up. Tornadoes just gonna skip and hop over. I'm serious. They got all kind of prayer witches and warlocks praying to protect the city. They got stones, Masonic stones in different corners on all four corners of the city. They got blue lights and purple lights. They got Thunderdome pointers on top of the churches to make sure that the electricity and the magnetism pushes the tornadoes to hop and skip over. All type of technology in places where the museums need it. But if they need the money in it and they don't have that type of technology, they'll do something like a quick blow up. Let's blow something up real quick. Let's let a train fall off the track in that area. Let's flood it out, I'm just saying. So listen, how do I know that museum right there had to do with natives and Native Americans and one anta? It could be pronounced one anta. It could be pronounced neonator. Because just the other day I read where they're doing repatriations for Native Americans all over the country. Not only that, if you go to December 11th, which is today, their Federal Register presidential documents, it's saying they want to make sure the Indians, the Native Indians, not only the ones that are alive, but they're dead, is taken care of, well taken care of. Let's think back to Portuguese. The Lord is in his holy temple. Oh, that's what they call him nowadays. He was talking about the Indian, remember? Well, here, in accordance to the Native American Graves Protection and Repatriation Act, Hardwick College has completed an inventory of human remains and has determined that there's cultural affiliation between the human remains and Indian tribes of the Native Hawaiian organizations. One of my greatest teachers, he got 8 arms, so I don't know what his 8 sides mean. But he said something about the Hawaiians being Paleo, Hebrew, Israel, something. Huh? I didn't go check that out. That's his information. But I'm telling you, there's a connection, huh? And they about to do something. And they saying when the dead in Christ rise, then the ones that's left over, when they finish rising, we gonna have reparations just for them. They gonna be repatriated before anybody over here that's calling themselves black. I'm just saying. This is what it say. I'm just saying. I'm saying this is what it say. I'm not making this up. Should I share the screen or allow you to go to Federal Register and look it up for yourself? Huh? The human remains in notice are connected to one or more identifiable early groups, tribes, peoples, and cultures. They all got their culture, huh? There's a relationship of shared group identity between identifiable earlier groups. That means y'all know what they doing. They going based on blood work. They using the DNA. And if your DNA can't prove that you native, indigenous, abo, anything, it don't even matter, huh? Because they going into the graves and digging up blood work and taking and testing DNA to check out to see who you connected to. Because there's power in the blood, huh? And my blood says I'm in the bloodline of the Lion of Judah, huh? I don't know what your bloodline said, but I told y'all, you need to find out and be correct and precise, because by the time they finish, if you can't figure out where your bloodline go, they're gonna put you where they want to put you. And if it ain't, you can't even say to yourself, I'm in the bloodline of Jesus with pride. You steady arguing about what your mama and grandmama them did, who hurt you, and can't even get past forgiveness. If you can't come up with your own blood work and DNA, and no artificial intelligence gonna figure it out for you, according to what the government doing right now. Listen. Spielberg, somebody had Spielberg, London McLovin, sure did, told Yeager the human remains belong to a Ute Indian. When Yeager died in 1929, he left these human remains in Hardwick College. The human remains consist of a scalp lock, huh? That's when they were scalping us, huh? And people, huh? A blacks and a whites, there's a scalping, huh? And belonged to an individual of an indeterminate age, not associated with funerary objects that are present. Huh? Cultural affiliation, huh? I'm talking about they going in. And this was done in July. Oh, they used the month of the Jews, huh? They used the month of the Jews to put a whammy on the people. So this house fire, if you don't believe me about the house fire and believe that this is somehow connected, huh? You don't have to. But I'm telling you, it is. Now, here. What else went on in Oneonta, huh? Oneonta, New York. Something with the Department of Transportation. This was in December 2022. And it's something about the surface for the airport. Geographic coordinates, huh? I'm going to pass by that one since that was 2022. I want to stick to 2023. Then they had something else. They had a proposed amendment about the airspace, huh? At Albert S. Nader Regional Airport at Oneonta, huh? Oneonta. Yes, they did. But let's get to something closer, huh? In Oneonta, New York, like export trade certificate a review that happened in October from the fruit company, huh? Where the fruit flies. I'm going to click this open because they got the Olympics and everything in this one. It say Olympic fruit, huh? Moxie Trading Company, Winter Cheese. They got Indian names all over. Orchid Farm Foods, huh? And the Dallas. And the Dallas ain't even spelled Dallas like we see it. It's spelled Dallas. Dallddee. Hold up. Yes, London McLovin. Greater Light. I just clicked over here because I was reading and I see y'all. King Ellis. Greater Light, huh? London McLovin. I keep hearing about your name, Perry. Two Perry L's. Canna Dummy. Yes, it's all coded, right? Look. Dallas is spelled like this. Huh? It's spelled. Did I? Wait. I didn't hit it. Yes. Yeah. It's spelled like that. Look at this. Look. All right. Back to it. So I'm going to click this. What happened in commerce? Export trade in October. And what they doing in the neonato. Secretary of Commerce. Antitrust actions, private treble. They putting musical notes in there. They talking about from private treble damage, antitrust action for the export to conduct specified in a certificate and carried out in compliance with the terms and conditions. It all is tongue twisted, tied up, and not to the point. Oh, they talk about Frosty the Snowman. Look, Frosty Packaging. All these Indian names, Hood River, Zyla, there's Zion, Stadelman Fruit, Highland Fruit Growers, Frosty Packaging, and Columbia. It all sounds like some type of Christmas story. They say they need to remove the following companies as members of the certificate. Whatever certificate happened in neonato, they say, look, y'all out of here. Because y'all are not part of the Indian tribes that they about to give repatriation from. Oh, this is going to affect Gerber Foods, Gerber Farms, Brewers Heights Packaging and Orchids. The Crane, there go the Crane. Oh my goodness, this is so hilarious. You know words, and if you know words and you comprehend enough, like I don't know it. I don't know nothing. That's what I keep saying. But look, how come Crane and Crane in there? Oh, they changing the names. They changing the names of some of the members of the certificate. Look at Milton. My grandfather was a Milton. He's a Milton Crowley. My step grandfather. He's a Milton Crowley. Look, Crane and Crane. So they removed some of the members, which is Columbia Fruit Packers, Frosty Packaging, Highland Fruit Growers, and Stadelman. The Stadelman. Then they changing the names. Crane and Crane Inc. It's going to be changed to Crane Ranch out of Washington. Now, what Washington got to do with neonato? Then they got Brewster's High Packaging and Orchids. They changing to Gerber's Farms. So Gerber is getting its own farm. They go to Selah. Selah, Washington. Selah. I'm talking about it literally. Selah, Washington. Look. Selah, Washington is in this. Selah. The Storks. That's right. The Storks, Canna Dummy. Selah, Washington is changing their company names in Monson, the Monson Fruit Company is changing to the Monson Fruit Company LLC. Oh, they turned into switching over to LLCs. Brewster's is doing business as Gebbers. It's not Gerbers, it's Gebbers. And the Roaches fruit in Yakima Washington is changing to Rote Fruit LLC. And then they saying they changing the export product coverage of the following members. Diamond Fruits. Well, you gonna get now. I just said something about the diamond to y'all, right? I just said something. If you go back, I just said something about diamonds and jewels and gems and resin and all that. They taking diamond fruit growers. It changes their export product coverage from fresh pears and fresh sweet cherries to fresh pears, dropping fresh sweet cherry. The cherry tree. What? Who chopped down the cherry tree? Can a dummy? Can a dummy? Who chopped down? Didn't they go into the rivers? They got fruit in the rivers. River Valley fruit coverage. They stopping the fresh apples. No, they going from fresh apples, fresh cherries and pears to fresh apples and fresh cherries. Dropping the pears. Isn't they dropping the ears, the pears, and first fruits? So this is the first company with the first fruits. They say they dropping cherries all together, and it's just going to be fresh apples. So I guess something happening where the cherries are not going to be fresh anymore, y'all. Because remember, China, what's her name? China T, whatever her name is, saying they going to be feeding us from farm fresh landfill food. Maybe the fresh sweet cherries going to be coming out of, oh Lord, I just thought of one of my favorite desserts. I love me a fruitcake, and it's a particular fruitcake that I like so much, right? The one that got the red wrap at the bottom. They used to sell it in all them cherries, and they take the got all the fruits in it. I'm just saying, are they gonna next year the little fresh cherries? Since it's that they dropping all the fresh cherries, is gonna be landfill cherries. I'm just saying, look, that ain't no misinformation or disinformation. That came straight from the government's mouth, and inside this Federal Register. Anything they gonna do to the people, they say it right here. It ain't no way of words or miscommunication. They say it clear as day. So I just checked this one just to see what they got going on, but I want to stick on Neonator. Because Neonator is involved in this one too. Okay, what else? So the Neonator Trading Company in Wenatchee. Oh, they got Neonator in Wenatchee, Washington. Okay. Now, what else is happening? The final environmental impact statement. This is probably why they did the finishing, the blowing up Neonator, New York. It says final environmental impact statement, environmental impact report in Tijuana, Tijuana, Esture Tidal Restoration Program. The Department of Interior, once again, this decision was made or put into effect on March 31st, 2023. And it says project in the estuary's southern arm, along with the proposed model marsh and, oh my goodness, Oneonta or Neonator tidal linkage project. Both of them which have been implemented. The final environmental, let me click that link. Fish and Wild Service Interior. If they're gonna make sure that the Indians, they're dead up there, get their repatriation, they got to make sure that they get fed too, right? So they want to make sure that the fish and the wildlife is straight. Look, let's see. So this over there in California. So this Neonator. So they doing something with all the Neonators. Neonator. This service will issue a record of decision no sooner than 30 days for publication. And there's something to do with the Tijuana River National Estuarine Research Reserve on portions of both Tijuana Slough National Wildlife Refuge and the Borderfield State Park in San Diego, California. Ooh, Imperial Beach. Victoria Touchstone is the person that they would have to. Project location, 90 acres. The project site encompasses encompasses approximately 90 acres, is located within the southern arm of Tijuana Estuary, just to the east of the Pacific Ocean in southwestern San Diego County, California. The project sites include both of Tijuana Slough National Wildlife Refuge, 1,700 square mile watershed. They go that, it didn't say 1,500, but it say 1,700 square mile large portion which is located in Mexico. Sensitive, threatened, and endangered species, the habitat for the residents. Wow. It is estimated that in the 1800s, Tijuana included over 2,500 acres of estuarine wetland and high marsh. Really? As dried out as it is? And the mud flat habitat and a 42% decrease in salt marsh. Oh, that's some. Wow. And then they completed a project in 1991. Y'all know what that date is to me, some of you. I know you do, Canada. I mean, 1991, that year. Okay, that's enough of that. I'm going to click out of that because that's going to be going deeper and deeper into what I'm not trying to get into. All right. Actions taken September 15th in Oneonta, New York, on a project facility, Southside Water System. So they made a plan all the way from 2022 on a project about the water system of Oneonta, New York. The applicant for groundwater in the Susquehanna River Basin Commission. So see, okay, there was a meeting September 15, 2022 in Baltimore, Maryland about the Susquehanna River Basin. And then they have all the sponsors and the people who are projecting the project. So this project is probably just finalized, and everything will be totally adopted by 2024. So it's settlement of civil penalties. What does civil penalty matrix have to do with the land? See there? It's a civil penalty matrix revised. And then they give all the applicants who's helping with this water project. And let me name off some of them that happened in that place that just blowed up today or whenever yesterday. So Oneonta house explosion, but see, the project approved by Aqua Pennsylvania, Monroe Manor System, Bruner Island LLC, Bruner Island Steam Electric Station, Chesapeake Appalachia, Athens Township for surface water withdrawal. Wow. Sugar Creek for Chesapeake Appalachia. Coterra Energy. These are the people that help plan. Something about redeveloping a golf course. So there's redevelopment for golf course in that area. And London McLovin, I remember when you did a build on about the golf courses. What does that have to do with a bunch of native dead Indians, huh? who getting repatriations. What else? General permits, notice of intent to groundwater remediation, Frey Farms, and Cresswell landfills. Oh my goodness. So the eighth sponsor is a landfill sponsor. Wow. Project facility, Frey Farm, and Cresswell landfills out of Pennsylvania. Huntsville Golf Club, they got something to do with it. Pennsylvania Grain Processing, Branch Susquehanna River. Elk Run, Seneca Resources Company. Shrewsbury, oh man, I used to hate going up there. I used to hate going through there when I was driving the truck. They roads are so small. Shrewsbury Township, the Village Well, and the Meadow Well. And I could keep going on, but just that landfill right there alone, huh? And let me see. So they have 20 project specialists that help them with this research and what they need to do to blow up something around there to get groundwater withdrawals. I'm saying, and build golf courses over the mess. And make sure that they got things right for the repatriations for the dead up there. That's not what it's about. Okay, all right. Just ignore me then. Export trade certificate. They back on, now that one is for Washington, neonatal Washington. So neonatal, I wonder if they're on the same longitude. Neonatal New York and neonatal Washington. I wonder if it runs along the same latitude. I wonder. I may Google Earth that later and find out. Okay, then there's a public hearing that they had July 12th, 2022, about the Susquehanna River Basin. So this how long they've been planning this little explosion that they just did today. I'm going to maybe another current event. It says migratory bird hunting out there. And August 11th, 2023, near Route 7 in Stamford. They naming off routes. They naming off routes in that one. Okay, anything else? 2023, bird hunting regulations. They naming off routes. Anything else for 2023? That's about it. I'm not going to go any further. Yeah, I think you get the point in the message. Like I said, anytime it's something they plan in advance, and they've been doing it for years, and I've been saying it for 2 years, the stuff that's about to go down, they've already prepared. Even when I was saying at the beginning of the year about certain storms in certain areas that was going to get hit, and just like I said, I'm in a safe space. I'm in a safe space according to how much money they've already invested in this little town. So if you want to be prepared for anything, those who believe in the word and believe in revelations, but you know the government is doing things and saying things to go according to plan too, you might want to go in this, type in your city, go to Federal Register, say type in, I say if I type in Coconut Grove, will something come up? Coconut Grove more than likely totally protected. They got too many stars putting all their money in there. I'm just saying. I don't know. Let me see. Court. Yep. See, everything already came up. 2023 commerce. It say the Marriott in Miami and Coconut Grove. Coconut Grove straight. They ain't got nothing to worry about. Look, vessel length, eligibility for foreign built vessels. Stella. They got Stella. I'm just saying, Coconut Grove. I could stay here, or I could go on back to the Grove if I wanted to. I'm just saying. I'm just saying. Look, they even down the quail roots. They say, look, y'all gonna be all right for another 99 years. Y'all too close to the Bahamas. It says it's critical habitat here. We got red snakes that we trying to save. It says it, no, ringneck snakes and rimrock crowned. The life is threatened, and Coconut Grove is where we gonna save them at, right there at the Barnacle Historical State Park. See, I'm just saying. Coconut Grove, y'all straight, okay? Y'all don't have to worry about nothing. They even got Mexico. They say, look, we gonna add you in there with parts of the Gulf of Mexico, and we putting your Cedar address, SEDAR, Cedar address. Coconut Grove is straight. I could go visit Sweetfield Missionary Baptist Church, knowing that when everything go down, Coconut Grove is straight. You know why? Because the 12 gates to the city landing right on top of it. I'm just saying, if you want to know if your city is going to be protected in the United States, or if there's something about to go down, you go look and type in. It'll let you know way back 2 years ago if they're going to do something. Now, here's some information that Bing went over with me about the name Onewata. I'm about to switch gears. For a second. Switch gears. Okay. So I first asked, break down NTA. I wanted to know the NTA definition. Hunting Lodge, water and resources for the hat company. Don't want people having viable seeds. They have not made those types of fruit seedless yet. Yeah, you know, one fruit that they definitely can't make seedless is a mango. That's my birth fruit. That's the fruit that I've already said. They could take my ashes and put it right up under a mango tree. And I would prefer that my fruit and my ashes and my body be put right to the top of the mount on Old Bite. But just in case. Anyways, I asked her about NTA, and she let me know about the National Testing Agency. The National Testing, and the reason why I asked about that is, let me show you one more time. Why I keep saying Neo, Nada, right? See that? But the word that where that explosion happened is Oneon. Okay, so that's where you see where I broke down the NTA. I was just breaking down the word. The first thing she gives me in the neonata when I asked about the acronym for NTA is, this is an Indian government agency that conducts entrance examinations for educational institutes. It was established in November 2017, and its first director general was Vineet Joshi. Vineet Joshi. Joshua. Joshi. JOS. I'm just going to put his name. VINEET JOSHI. So right then she gives me the acronyms. Now she gives me some more, but I don't think that's pertinent to what I'm doing the research on. Now she also gives me the Nigerian Television Authority, and that is in 1977. The director is General Yakub IBN Mohammed. I think that's significant because when I build with Latrell Tinwell, he's usually on or talking about the Yakubs. And I always say the Jacobsons or the Yakub, the Jacobson that got me in this are the same Jacobsons that's going to get me out of this. And I'm not saying it in a point that I'm trapped. I'm saying it in a point of, now that I can rightly divide the word of truth, I'm taking them out. Little by little, moving each ladder, each step to the ladder, little by little. Bloop, bloop. Them bones, them dry bones. But the name of the Nigerian Television Authority, and this is for Latrell Chinwell if he ever shows up again, director, Yakubu, Yakubu, IBNMA, no, MOHAMMED. East Indian Trading Companies. Yes, that's when it was talking about the trading companies a little while ago, Canada. Right. So did I switch off and I asked her, okay, now, well, give me the etymology of Oneonta. Oneonta. Give me the etymology. So she says, the word Oneonta is a Native American origin, and it is popularly believed to mean the place of open rocks. So now we're on the Rock of Ages. In Mohawk language, this refers to a prominent geological formation known as the Table Rock at the western end of the city of Oneonta in New York. And then she says it's also a girl's name, and she gives some, like, I could go and check here and there, but she doesn't say anything else. You know I'm not satisfied with that. You know I'm not satisfied with that information. So I said, well, tell me the history or ancient manuscript signification or significance of the open rocks. So she says, the phrase the open rocks does not have clear or definitive meaning in history or ancient manuscripts. However, it could be related to some of the following topics. Fracking. This technique of extracting oil and gas from rocks by cracking them up with high pressure fluids. Fracking, which they're about to do again. Fracking has been used since the 19th century, but it became more widespread and controversial in the 21st century due to its environmental impact and social impacts. Now look at this open pit mining. Going to the pit and getting the keys. This is a method of mining minerals from the surface. Now, part of the minerals of the surface are the grave sites. They're giving repatriations to the natives all over this land, to the dead natives, the ones who hold the mineral, most of the mineral, the surface mineral. No? Okay. They saying it right in the Federal Register. But let me finish. Open pit mining. This is a method of mining minerals from the surface of the earth by creating large pits or holes. Open pit mining can expose rocks that were previously buried and reveal their geological features. Dang. Open pit mining can also cause environmental problems such as erosion, pollution, and habitat loss. The Sakya Library. Now, I'm asking her about the significance of open rocks, and she's going to tell me about a library. And the word is Sakya. And y'all know. You already know. If I say Sakya, I'm going to make it about me. I'm going to say Sakya. Sakya. Even though it may not be about me, but that's what I like to do. Those who've been around know I can do that. But right now I want to stick to what's in this Sanskrit. Why is she telling me this about when I'm asking her about open rocks over here in the United States? So the Sakya Library. This is a collection of ancient scrolls that are preserved in the Sakya Monastery in Tibet. The library contains 84,000 scrolls that cover various subjects such as religion, philosophy, science, history, and art. The scrolls were written in different languages such as Tibetan, Sanskrit, Chinese, and Mongolian. The library is considered to be one of the most valuable and unique repositories in Asian culture and knowledge. So then she also mentions a monastic library. These are libraries that are maintained by monks and nuns in different religions and traditions. Those libraries often contain manuscripts that are copied, translated, and composed by the monastic communities. Monastic libraries serve as source of learning, spirituality, preservation, and ancient texts. And what I believe she's telling me, let me finish. Monastic libraries serve as sources of learning, spirituality, and preservation of ancient texts. Some examples are Benedictine libraries in Europe, the Coptic libraries in Egypt, and the Ethiopian Orthodox libraries in Ethiopia. What I believe she's telling me is information about this table of rocks or open rocks. The open rocks can be found in these places. The information about the open rocks can be found at the Sakya Library, at the monastic libraries, and the Herculaneum scrolls in Mount Vesuvius. They had information about the open rocks. But let me tell you what she says here. It says, these are ancient papyri that were buried and carbonized by the eruption of Mount Vesuvius in 79 CE. The scrolls were discovered in 18th century in the Villa of Papyri in Herculaneum, a town near Pompeii. The scrolls are mostly written in Greek and contain philosophical texts, especially from the Epicurean school. Let me finish. The scrolls are very fragile and difficult to read, but modern technologies such as multispectral imaging and artificial intelligence are being used to decipher them. I asked her about the rocks, and she told me about these 3 places to get information about the rocks. So then I give her a little bit of something because I hadn't been speaking to her, like greeting her and things like that. So I decided to do that. And then I asked her, tell me the history or ancient manuscript significance of the open rocks of Oneonta, New York. That's where how I should have directed the question in the first place. But she gave me more than I needed to know, that I'd like to know. So I'm glad of that. So she said, thank you for your kind words. I appreciate your interest in the history and culture of Oneonta, New York. According to some sources, the name Oneonta comes from Iroquois or Iroquoises. Iroquois. The word, and she breaks it down, Oneonta. So the N is silent. Oneonta. Oneonta. Meaning the place of open rocks. This refers to geological formation known as Table Rock at the western end of the city, the West. Table Rock is a cliff that exposes the bedrock of the area and offers a scenic view of the surrounding landscape. However, there's no definitive evidence that the name Oneonta has any ancient manuscript signification. The word may have been adopted or modified by the European settlers who arrived in the late 18th century. The town's history is mostly documented by oral traditions, newspapers, books, and archives. There's no record of any ancient scrolls or papyri that mention the open rocks of Oneonta. And then she gives all these different places to check. So I said, okay, since I'm at oral traditions and stories passed down, I said, okay, well, what stories do the Mohawks? And I remembered that the Mohawks is the significant or the most prevalent beings in their repatriation for that area. So I said, well, what stories do the Mohawks tell of the Table Rock? And is the Table Rock considered a cornerstone to the celebration of the United States 250-year celebration that's going on this year? 250 years since they came over and infiltrated, according to their history. This stuff was here before I got here, so it ain't nothing like I'm trying to, I'm just saying that's according to what was taught. So the Mohawks are an Iroquoian speaking indigenous people of North America and the easternmost tribe of the Iroquois Confederacy. They have a rich oral tradition of storytelling, which includes legends, myths, fables, and historical accounts. Some of the stories of the Mohawks tell of the Table Rock are the legend of the Great Bear. This is a story about how a young Mohawk warrior named Orinda chased a giant bear across the land until it reached the edge of Table Rock. There, Orinda shot an arrow into the bear's heart, causing its blood to spill over the cliff and stain the leaves of the trees red. The bear's spirit then became the constellation Ursa Major, or the Great Bear of the Sky. The Tale of Two Brothers. This is a story about how the Mohawk brothers, Kanati, and Aowa, Ai Anwa, literally, Kanati and Ai Onwa competed for the love of a beautiful maiden named Atsitsa. They both tried to impress her with their hunting skills, but they also sabotage each other's efforts. One day, they decided to settle their rivalry by climbing the Table Rock and jumping off the cliff. Whoever survived the fall would win Otsitsa's hand. However, as they reached the top, they realized that they loved each other more than Otsitsa. What? They had that kind of stuff going on, huh? That's okay, okay. That sounds like Julius Caesar and Mark Antony. However, it was brotherly love. Let me stop that. It was brotherly love. However, as they reached the top, they realized they loved each other more than Otsitsa, and they hugged each other before leaping into the abyss. Oh, they still jumped. Oh my goodness, what kind of story is this? I thought it was going to be like, oh, we love each other in the name of Jesus, and they going to just say, look, Otsitsa, we don't want you, and yeah, you good luck to you or something. No, they still jumped. Oh my goodness, such a sad story. Otsitsa, who witnessed their sacrifice, was so moved that she threw herself after them, hoping to join them in the afterlife. What the bah? Ah, no way. No way. No way. No way. Ain't no way in the world. What kind of, hey, Mohawk, huh? Make me want to cut off my grandson's natural Mohawk. My grandson got a natural Mohawk, right? Let me go ahead and give him his first cut. He about to be 2 years old. First cut. Time to get that cut. Yep. One of them type of stories. What is that, huh? In the name of Jesus, huh? Goodness gracious. The history of Oniata stone. So now there's a stone connected to the Oniata. Okay. This is a story of how the Oniata tribe, Oneonata, another member of the Iroquois Confederacy, received a sacred stone from the Great Spirit. The stone was a symbol of their unity and strength, and it was kept in a secret location near the Table Rock. However, during the American Revolution, the Oneida sided with the colonists against the British, while the while the Mohawks supported the British. This caused a rift among the Iroquois, and the Mohawks attacked the Oneidas and stole their stone. The Oneidas then fought back and reclaimed their stone, but they decided to move it to a safer place in Wisconsin. It can't be too safe if they said it's in Wisconsin. That means somebody knows where it's at. Huh? That Wisconsin, they hid it in a big tank of cheese. Wisconsin, Wiscons, the Wiscons, and where they relocated after the war. So now, the Table Rock is not considered a cornerstone of the celebration of the United States 250th anniversary, which is also known as the semi-quincentennial. The official planner of the nationwide celebration is America 250, a nonpartisan initiative that aims to engage every American in the commemoration of the country's history and future. The celebration, which includes various events, programs, and projects across the nation, but will not focus on any specific site or landmark. However, Philadelphia, the birthplace of the United States, will play a prominent role in the celebration, as it did in the previous anniversaries: 1876, 1926, 1976, and Philadelphia 250, a nonprofit organization. So wait, 1876, 1926, and 1976, but we're in 2023. So why is the celebration happening this year? A nonprofit organization has been named as the official planner for the city celebration. And it has proposed several ideas to revitalize historical cultural assets of the city, such as Independence Hall, the Liberty Bell, and the National Constitution Center. And then she gives references, places to look for more information, Wikipedia about the Mohawk people and the storytellings, the Oneida Stone, the Indian Nation. And that's about it. That's about it. So once again, my point of this live, I'm going to come back in a little later. I'm going to take me a little nap. The point of this live is to say that when there's something going on in your area, the government has already said what they're going to do. Like this Federal Register is a place to be prepared, because they have to tell you, they have to let you know that, yes, we're going to flood out your whole state. I'm just saying, there's some things that it has been under the control of God. And there is going to come a point where God is going to allow the devil to have total control. They're going to have total control. They're going to be released. Those who don't have the love and light of Christ to be sealed and protected are going to have to endure these trials and tribulations. It's written. But if you believe in the living word, preparation is a part of armor. Preparation is a part of armor. And that's all I'm saying. And they're saying that they're giving reparations or repatriations to dead beings. But then you have people who don't believe in life after. But they're also showing where they're taking stem cell research and flextronics type computer engineered research and bringing dead insects into movement. I won't call it back to life, but it like in the form of the living dead. They having plants and trees being able to take pictures of people. It's a lot of stuff going on that, I mean, by the time they really release it to the public, because just as anything else, if they're giving you tidbits and pieces of information, believe me, they have a whole research facility like Mars in Texas underground, a simulated 2 year, no, 1 year project of Mars that's underground right now. If they're releasing little bits and pieces, that means they already had it full blown. They just can't give it to the public at the price that would fit the public, whether it's the price of life or a price of death. That's all. That's the only reason why I came here with that. I just decided, since what's his name, Sander Vinderlinden, in his book on why misinformation affects our minds and how to build, and he's supposed to be one of the shape shifters of humanity. I'm letting him know right now that I'm not in total agreement with everything that I'm reading out of your book, because all of the misinformation, or the majority of it, comes from the government. It doesn't come from the bottom up. It comes from the top down, just like they like to do their little spells. Obama, Biden, Clinton, Kamala Harris administration, bottom up and down to the right. Well, I'm out of here. And I appreciate you. London McLovin, I know you came in and out, huh? You normally have to. You're a busy man. Canna Dummy, when are you going live, Canna Dummy? When you please drop your link. When you really start off going live, I'm ready. I'm ready to come up on your panel. Canna Dummy. Canna Dummy. Huh? And London McLovin, I figured out what was going on. I figured out why I couldn't hit your link, because they got the new app, the StreamYard app. And I don't like to have a bunch of apps on my phone, but the only way for me to, even with all my settings saying, yes, access camera, access, it's not going to do it with StreamYard anymore. You have to click onto the app. So I still didn't do the app, but what I did is clicked onto the link to the app, I guess. I don't know if that's somebody evading privacy or one of their little schemes, but that's the way that I could get on now. I found out, huh? Yep, I got it. Uh-huh. And who else? King Perry Ellis. Your name's been mentioned a couple of times. I've been hearing that there's people related to it. Ellis's. It's like, yeah, my families are Ellis's. I was like, yeah, okay. Greater light. Thank you. I'll be, like I said, I'll be back later. I just need to take a quick one, a power nap. That's what you call it. Power nap. Greater light. Oh, let me put out some little closing. The closing background. I love this one right here. Here we go.